ago when there was that problem. They also said that the facility is for maintenance and repair likely to be associated with chemicals and hazardous material that are inappropriate to a facility located in a 100-year floodplain.
Well,
And I explained to Keith that they offered to put it in a locked
yeah.
container, like a storage container,
Right.
and elevate it as well, so that if a flood did
Didn't come through.
come
It
through,
wouldn't pull it
it
through.
would stay, because that was something that the ZBA brought up as well. And Gary Guglielmetti, working on cars, knows all about this stuff,
Right,
and he
the
said
capsule.
this container would contain them. It wouldn't be able, the doors wouldn't be able to be opened, you know, if anything spilled inside, it would be contained.
Contained in there.
Yeah, and they were willing to get one of those.
All right.
All right,
Well, I have something that is confusing me with the determination of the county. Let's just start at the beginning. Furthermore, the proposed use is not allowed use at this location. Well, I find that it is an allowed use at that location with a special permit. Okay, to answer that question. And then we'll go on. By the town of Shandaken, chapter 16:10, that's what I just looked up. Public utility or transportation garage or maintenance facility is specifically prohibited in the HR zone district. Well, I don't find that, so I personally disagree with it, in my opinion. Additionally, the land use allowed by special permit is what I'm referring to. Within the HR zone district, related to transportation uses, specifically excludes the proposed desired use. All right, so now what I did was, I decided to say, well, there's a good chance that I would agree with them if it says that, so I went in my dictionary in the zoning ordinance, and I looked up public utility facility, is what they refer to, and it says it excludes it. So they're saying that it excludes that, and here it is, public utility, a facility other than a telecommunications tower or telecommunications antenna for the provision of public utility service, including facilities constructed, altered, or maintained by utility operations. Other public or privately owned, okay, so now we're going into that, or government agencies necessary for the provision of electricity, gas, steam, heat, communications, water, sewage, collection, or other such services to the general public. Such facilities shall include poles, wires, mains, drains, sewers, pipes, conduits, cables, alarms, and cool boxes, and other similar equipment, but shall not include an office or administration buildings. Well, this is not an administration building, because it's a garage, is what it says, what they claim it is. The purposes of the zoning law, let me see this, the purposes of the zoning law, for the purposes of the law, telecommunication towers or telecommunication antennas defined separately by the zoning board shall be governed by the zoning regulations which apply to them.
Order definition.
So, I'm confused here because I don't see where it says, according to our definition, and with a special permit, excluding garage or maintenance facility. I didn't read that anywhere in the definition. So, I disagree with them.
Right. But they're calling it a public utility or transportation use, and that.
Right, and then they
Yeah.
say,
Yeah.
but according to our ordinance, it's excluding a garage or maintenance facility, and I don't find that when I look up the definition. So unless they're referring to another section that I'm unable to find or locate, my opinion is that I made a good decision, and I backed the decision that I made.
Okay. Anybody else have something to say about that decision?
was the railroad back when the zoning was made.
It was what?
Back when the zoning was made, the zoning districts were made, there was a railroad and cars were repaired along the railroad.
Oh, yeah, that was pre-existing zoning.
That was pre-existing,
So-
yeah. So it's,
I don't think you could use that argument then,
No.
because it was existing.
okay. What have you got from the county?
The first thing they did was they threw out the crossroads.
Oh, excuse me,
Yes.
Jack.
It also, we had a supermajority vote, so.
Yeah, with that, what
That
they
overrides the county.
Yeah.
Yeah, you overrode the county. Good job.
Majority puts on
Good
three.
job.
Good job. Jack gave a presentation to the county on the Crossroads project, was accepted by the county, they're all in favor. Dennis Doyle had a few questions. I think one of them was something that you just talked about tonight, about you getting along hiring your consultants and your attorneys. And the other one had to do with the approval date of DEIS, right?
Right. Dennis Doyle specifically asked us where we were in the secret process. We brought him up to speed to that. He asked us when we thought you would be formally submitting it to the county. We told him that you're in the process of getting your consultants and so forth. And then he also wanted us to be aware of the bridge construction that was going to be taking place on Route 28 for the two bridges, and that we should make sure to take all that into consideration if and when we get into construction traffic. So that was pretty much his three issues during our presentation.
And what did you answer him on, what date do you think that you were?
I did not give him a date.
No, you told them approximately May.
That's right, I said May at the soonest.
May?
Yep.
Okay, now, the county hands these out to the county board members, and I thought they was something that you guys should have. And this is land use referral, and it gives you a lot of information. What is this?
Yeah.
So you need one, son? Come on, come on.
John, can we
You
have
need- I'll give
Give
you
her
one
one
for
for
John,
John.
and I got one for you also. That one's for you, and that one's for John, and I have one for the last person. Okay, now there's, business down there wasn't that far along. The main topic was Crossroads, and then it's just, I have articles here, there's two training seminars coming up. There's one, it's gonna be in, Halkett Center. Do you all know where Halkett Center is? Because nobody in the county knew where Halkett Center was.
It's outside of place.
This is gonna be March 20th, it's on a Thursday, it's from 4 to 8 p.m., and it's going to be on, it's going to be by the Department of State. So that's one training program, and there's another one that's going to be held on.
Excuse me, Bob.
Huh?
I didn't mean to interrupt. That's accredited hours, that one?
Yeah, that's from the Department of State,
Yeah, that's what
DOS.
it is.
And there's another one that's going to be held at SUNY Ulster. There's got to be more information brought out on that one. But that one is going to be on April 14th at 7 p.m. And that's going to be, the topic of that is going to be locally unused land uses. So those are two training programs where you can get credits from. Okay, so, yes, ma'am,
That was it, from the county?
that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, I'll give these to you. This one here, you can notify the people. You can probably notify the zoning board on that also.
Okay.
Okay, and this one here, I'll try to get more information on it here. On this one here. This one, April 14th.
Thank you. So, anybody have anything they want to talk about,
Yeah,
discuss?
we talked about the comprehension plan, working on that, and taking a look at our zoning and seeing what we would like to recommend, different. So I was, I'm willing to put some maps together or whatever. I just need a little direction from the planning board. Where would you like me to start? What would you like me to do as far as putting something together for you to review.
You mean for the comprehensive plan?
Yeah,
As far as what part of that?
Part of it, yeah.
I mean, where are we gonna start? What's your plan?
that's what I want from the planning
Well,
board.
we have to start,
We have to start looking at where we want our town to go as far as our business and residential areas, and especially in light of any big projects such as Crossroads or something that would come in. We need to take a serious look at our comprehension plan and our zoning districts and see if, for instance, Pine Hill that we talked about, you know, there's a situation there where you've got a hamlet with a main street that used to have main businesses, and it's not a business district, because since the Pine Hill Village dissolved, it went from a business district to a residential district. Is that something we want to change, or is that something we want to look at? That might be the first place to start, but as far as, I think we need to look at and update our comprehension plan and our zoning.
All right, first we have to see if we have copies of the old one.
I have
I think I have one,
Okay, so,
so.
I think there's one in the building department as well.
Clark has,
Well, maybe what we should do then, Don, is, let's start at our next workshop. And we'll all start writing down things that we as individuals think that might be a direction that will go. So we can start to consolidate it down, get it into something that the group feels comfortable with, and that we can work on, like you said, Pine Hill, additional parking areas and things like that.
Now, I have to tell you that the last comprehensive plan committee was made up of 12 or 14 people, with a couple of people from the planning board. And there were a lot of people from outside, you know, from
Right.
the public.
No, let's try to keep it as close to us as we can right now.
All right, but I don't know if we can do that.
Yes.
Do we have to invite?
Well, we can review it, we can
Yeah.
come up with
All right.
suggestions.
Because what they did, which I thought was a very good thing, is they sent out a questionnaire to everyone in town and asked them what they thought about the education process, the roads, you know, all kinds of questions. And then they collated all that together to see what the concerns of the townspeople were, or, you know, what their plan or their vision of the future of the town would be. You know, which doesn't hurt to know what other people are thinking also.
I can tell you from a building standpoint, that Main Street, Pine Hill is a big thing. There's a couple of houses that are for sale. Missy Weeks is a perfect
Yeah.
example. You know, and that's something that the town board has mentioned a few times, is focusing on that initially.
Yeah, but the problem is that it's not, whether it's commercial or residential, it's getting the people to go down into that town is the problem. It's not what's there or not there, or what it's zoned, it's to get them off of 28 and through that Main Street. I mean, that's really challenging. You know, and that happened when the new 28 was built, that's what happened. You know, all these towns got just cut off. It does have a lot of potential, and with the project, it'll be even more desirable.
Let's do that at the next workshop. Let's bring it up and start banging heads
But before
together.
the next workshop, then we should all have a copy of the present comprehension plan.
Right.
How
So
can
we
go
have a
about-
guide of, you know,
How do we go about getting
Is
that?
that the spiral bound one?
she
Yeah.
has,
Okay,
she
Joyce,
has,
I do have
she
one.
has, Joyce has the little ball down there. You can get a copy of the comprehensive plan from
If
Joyce.
you can do it, Gina, speak to Joyce, see if you can get one from each of us now, so we have the latest one, make sure that it's up to date, and we're all working on the same
oh, it's
thing.
not changed.
Well, it
It's
changed,
just one. It hasn't, nothing has been added to it or changed in it.
since when?
Since,
Since the last review.
When it
yeah,
was done.
which was,
Yeah.
what?
Bob Cross.
Yeah.
Since Bob Cross was, supervisor.
See what you can get, Joyce.
Yeah.
Try to get as many.
But they should be in there, I mean, if she has. them.
Yeah,
They should
worst
be in there.
case, if I can't, then I can always shoot to Catskill Office Supply and have them run.
Yeah, what to, you know, Staples.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, that's a good idea.
I think that's a real good idea that we
Alright.
should start doing. Thanks, Don.
Yes.
Thanks, Dawn.
Anything else?
No, you by, we were just talking about that, by the zoning law, if you're looking there on the planning board, you are charged with reviewing the comprehensive plan every 5 years.
I know, it's been way longer than that.
That's why I just asked which one we're dealing with.
Yeah.
Because I think I have two of them. I go all the way back when it was Jay Graham, myself, and Art brought right to that.
Oh.
Putting that together. A comprehensive plan just like this.
Was that like days of yore?
Yeah. That's what we did, like candle power.
Okay. John was supposed to be here tonight, he was supposed to put together some fee schedules for.
No, it got put back on me, and I wrote out, I sent a letter to a couple of surrounding towns asking them if they could
Oh.
please send that, so that was done on
Yeah.
Thursday.
Well, so what he did was about 2 or 3 years ago. He had,
Longer, he said,
yeah.
yeah, so I'm waiting for their response. Hopefully I'll have it in time to present something at the next workshop.
All right. Okay, so we're all set on the lawyers and comprehensive plan.
I'll reach out to you tomorrow with the
All right. Okay. Anything else?
These we have to give back.
What's so funny, Don?
Yes.
It takes a lot of effort to write each person's name on this envelope.
I said, you hunt us down.
Yes, especially you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. He started this.
Maybe you can crossroads for that?
I'm sorry? 44,000.
And budget for the consultants?
That's it, 44.
Well, we can spend whatever we want.
I know that, but 44 could be either lawyers or consultants.
Right, whatever, whoever we need.
Maybe we should say
Won't last long.
We got more mileage out of it.
Oh, yeah.
How come you gave Alan a pink one?
I know where his office is.
You know who
It
rides
said Shiner, and I thought,
it's shiny.
Shine.
It's shiny.
And it's
This is televised, you can't give him a pink
No,
photo.
oh, you're still
I thought they
We have a quorum.
Everybody had a
We have a quorum.
Yes. I make a motion that we adjourn.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
All in favor? Any opposed?
Say aye.
No, oh, no, oh. Don't say everything.
I just volunteered for something. That's what happened.
Don't you remember, like in high school, they used to tell the underclassmen that the built-in pool was up on the roof?
Yes, what they did is they took off the schedule and everything they are going to do, they have already paid for how much land they want to remove that, the site plan review, and we are charged with getting a consultant and a lawyer, but the reason we need that is not to review it, but we see certainly as being that, fine-tooth comb. And we just have certain things that we want to look at, and we need them to write up our findings for us too, so we can present them. That's what we need, the consultant and the lawyer.
Right.
And there's a few items that we're interested in,
I don't want to get up there.
stormwater,
I hope we
landscaping.
have enough money to
Otherwise, it's going to be fine, as long as there's a forum up there, that's on.
Those people listen. That's why we need to have these people with us when we start reviewing, because we don't want to encourage, to go on, to hold it up in any way.
But the letter that was written at the Delaware County meeting, lost
Yeah, we're on.
which came from Robert Clobber, one of,
One of them.
I'm not sure who, somebody's lawyer, Corman. letter that was like, all legalese presented to Delaware County.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I heard that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the beginning of a lawsuit.
Well, I can't talk, that has to keep running as long as we have a quorum, so we gotta move it.
Okay.
Have a good night. Yeah, all right, at your earliest, no rush, but that way I can just share.
I didn't even reply.
Make sure that
Okay, but you know, we can always talk
you're
about
around so long, you don't know who's on what.
Okay, good night, everybody.